And one of the, Carolyn Wade, who is somebody whose article I drew quite a bit from, she said, it's the ability and willingness to assess claims and make objective judgments on the basis of well-supported reasons. I think that's pretty good. However, still, we are teachers. We are practical people. We need to be able to go in with tools that we can use right away. We need to be able to break all this down into something that is portable into the classroom and usable right away. So that's what I've done. It's my, I guess I should say, it's my take on critical thinking. There are a lot of people that don't agree with me. Believe me, they argue about it quite a bit. It reminds me of when I went to a conference once about grammar, and people were standing up and shouting about how to teach grammar. And I thought, well, what are these people like when they get to abortion and gun control? It really must blow the roof off. But you know, critical thinking is kind of the same thing. People are very passionate about it. So I have to give that preface to what it is that you're going to see today. This is my take. However, it is something that I think is very helpful to teachers. We're going now to Bloom's taxonomy, and I don't know if you've heard about it. It's been dismissed in a lot of circles, but still I come back to it because, again, it is something that I can aim at. It's like a bullseye for me. So we have the 6 steps, and he originally wrote about it in, I think it was 1958 or 56, and he had developed, he and his team had developed these cognitive skills, these steps, so that they could evaluate their objectives that they had in the classrooms. The interesting, or the thing that needs to be pointed out about this taxonomy is that it looks as if they go up in difficulty, and they may, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, let's say, remembering and comprehending are at all insignificant when you're in the classroom. Of course, these are all things that need to be paid attention to, and they all are integrated. So in a sense, it's a little false to think that you can do something that only requires analyzing, because analyzing also requires comprehension and it requires remembering. So that's not, it's deceptive in that way, but again, this is just something as kind of a guide, as I said, a target to shoot at. So when we're analyzing something, he has generated, or other people generated, a lot of lists about what verbs go underneath each kind of thing. And if you want to see those lists, you can just Google Bloom's taxonomy verbs, and you can see all of them. And it's kind of interesting, because when you're making up a question for a test or some sort of essay exam, you can see what kind of skill, if you're aiming at teaching them analyzing, how would you word that? So for instance, in analyze, you might ask them to compare, you might ask them to explain. In evaluating, you might ask them to support or defend. And in synthesizing, you can ask them to assemble and summarize. And I must also point out that this scheme